Hey, my name is Andre, and in this tutorial we'll be building this professional WordPress blog together in just 10 easy steps that anybody can follow. And I think this blog design is looking absolutely gorgeous, and the best part about this tutorial is that you can use the same steps to make an amazing blog for any topic that you want. For example, this is a website that we made using the same process for a cooking blog that turned out absolutely beautiful. And here is yet another design using the same template that we've made for a fitness or personal trainer blog. I think this one is also looking super clean, so you can use this to build a professional blog for any industry. We've also researched many successful blogs while making this tutorial, and it became clear that the most important pages of any blog are the blog posts themselves. And we'll make sure that our posts look great. This whole page template is engineered to provide an amazing experience for your blog's readers. At the top, we will have this table of contents where your visitors can click any of these titles to jump to the information that they want right away. This is proven to help with user experience, and search engines like Google will love your website for it, which means they will send more traffic to your blog faster. We also have a super easy way for people to share your content if they like it, with these floating buttons that scroll together with our page. And on the right side, there's this reading progress tracker which will keep more of your visitors reading until the end of the post. Some of the world's most successful blogs use similar techniques to keep their readers engaged. For example, this is how the Financial Times has their own share buttons and the reading progress indicator. Other super profitable blogs that make over 6 figures per year, such as Backlinko, also use this technique. Further down, your visitors can subscribe, or they can go on and read a related post. Moving back to our homepage, we have this beautiful hero section with our logo, menu, and social media. Below, we'll learn how to insert our most important featured posts first. Then we offer a way to subscribe with your email using this beautiful form design. And next, it's super important for us to show our latest articles in here, and you'll see how to customize everything about this as well. For the bottom of the page, I'll show you how you can add a section like this, with content that is inserted automatically from a social media profile like Instagram or Twitter. And of course, you will be able to change and rearrange all of these elements so that you can make it look exactly the way you want. We will use a visual page builder to make all of our changes, and this is what makes this technique super easy for anybody to follow. Plus, I will show you every single change that we make step by step until we achieve this final completed design. We will also learn how to create category pages like this reviews page. In here, we can show posts only from a certain category of our blog, like some product reviews. Or perhaps, if you make a cooking blog, you would want to show only posts that are related to recipes on a separate page, for example. And lastly, we will make a simple contact page with a contact form where readers can get in touch with you. I will show you how to make this exact design step by step and page by page. And of course, our whole website will be completely mobile responsive, which means it will look amazing on any device, including tablets and mobile phones. Aside from this, your website will also load super fast. This is normally very hard to achieve with an image-rich design like this one, and speed is a big problem with visual page builders in general. But just look at how fast all of our pages load. I will show you exactly how to make your pages load in under half a second, just like this. And your blog will get close to 100% scores in important website speed tests like GT metrics. And this will also help you achieve great rankings in Google. A blog design like this can easily cost over $2,000 to make, especially for a super fast blog like we're making here together. And inside this video, you will learn how to make this exact website step by step, either for yourself or perhaps for your clients. I'm completely sure you're going to love it, and you will end up with an amazing blog that you will be proud to share with the world. And by the way, in the video's description, you will find timestamps to each of the chapters and steps. I recommend you follow them in the correct order because they are very interlinked. But if you feel like you already know something, then you can click the timestamps to jump right over to a specific section. Also, if you have any questions at all or get stuck anywhere, please leave a comment below. We reply to every single question, and we will do our best to help. So we're gonna need 3 main things to build our website. First, we're gonna need to get hosting and a website name like yourwebsite.com. Then we will need to install and set up WordPress. WordPress is by far the best and most popular way in the world to make a website, and even Microsoft uses it for their own blog. And finally, we're gonna make our design by following steps number 3 to 10. And like you've seen, we're gonna be able to make any type of blog that we want by following this step-by-step process. I will also provide you with all of the images and templates that you need to make this design, and you can download them from the description below. So let's go ahead and get started with the first step. Just open up your web browser and then go to wpmkr.com/namehero. WordPress Maker is my website, and I will always update this link to make sure you get the best price available at any time. It's also an affiliate link, which means you will help support us make these tutorials at no additional cost to you. So thank you. And we are using NameHero because from our tests, they are the best WordPress hosting that you can get right now. The speed and value for money that they provide is simply crazy compared to the competition. And most importantly, they are a light-speed web host that is super well integrated with a premium CDN network called QuickCloud. I know that's a bunch of technical terms, but all it means is that your website will be blazing fast without breaking the bank. Our pages will load in under half a second, which will help our blog rank better in Google faster. And I will show you exactly how to take advantage of this speed later on in the tutorial. NameHero's customer support is also amazing, and they always responded to me within minutes. Just check out their Trustpilot reviews. 4.7 stars is a super impressive score for a web host. And if you've been in this industry for a while, you'll know exactly what I mean, because most web hosts barely reach 3.5 stars. So from these packages, you should choose the first one if you want to build only one website. Or choose the second one if you're looking to build up to 7 websites on the same hosting package. Personally, I think you can ignore these other two because they don't offer anything that we really need for a new website. So for the one website package, I'm gonna click Order Now. And now in here, you can type in the website name that you want. For example, I will type in learntomakeyourblog.com. Then we can search to see if it's available. Our domain is available, so I can click Continue. Then for the billing cycle, I'm gonna choose 1 year. And further down, we don't need any of these extras, so we can simply click Continue. In here, you should consider getting this ID protection. If you don't check this, you might get spam calls and emails from people trying to sell you all sorts of website services. But if you're from Europe or the UK, the GDPR laws already protect you against this. I'm from an European country myself, which is why I don't need this, so I'm gonna deselect it. Then again, Continue. And this is our order. We will get our domain name learntomakeyourblog.com and our web hosting, both of them for 1 full year for about $47. The price for you might be different depending on your country, mainly because of tax reasons. But honestly, anywhere between $45 to even $90 per year is an amazing price given the performance that we're gonna get. I have web hosting accounts with other providers where I'm paying 5 times more per year, and I get the same or even less performance compared to what I was able to get with this blog. So we can scroll down and let's fill in our name and billing details. I'm just gonna fast forward through this and then choose a 4-digit support PIN. Next, choose a password, and then you can choose to pay by PayPal or card. I'm gonna pay by card, so I can just quickly fill this in. Then I'm gonna opt out of emails and check this terms of service box. And now we're ready to check out. And you'll get this message that your order was placed. So now we can exit out of here and we can open up our email. Because you will get a few emails from NameHero. You should look to see if you get this one that says verification of your domains is required. If you did get this email, open it and click this link inside to activate your new domain name. If you didn't get this email, then don't worry, your domain should already be activated. And now we have our hosting account ready. Whenever you want to log into your hosting portal, just go to namehero.com/login. And we can use our email and password that we've just chosen when we created our account. Then just click Login. Once inside your NameHero account, just click My Cloud over on the left. And in here you have your hosting package, so just click it. And then we want to log in to cPanel over here. And now most of these options don't matter, but there is one thing that we want to change. And for that we need to scroll all the way down and find this Select PHP version. Then open up these options. And we can scroll down and look for Post Max Size. Click here to change this, and I will make mine 128 megabytes. And then also change Upload Max File Size, and I will also change mine to 128. And we get this green confirmation message that it is saved. Once we set this up, we never have to worry about it again. It's just so that we can upload larger files to our hosting. And with our settings saved, we are ready to install WordPress. So on the left, click this WordPress Manager. Then click Install to install a fresh copy of WordPress. And here, the default settings are mostly good, we just need to change a couple of things. First of all, make sure that this directory field is blank, so I will remove this WP in here. Then scroll down and choose your admin account, select a username, a password, and put in your email. So I'll just fill in mine, and we will use these to log into our website later. Then scroll down, and we don't care about any of these other settings. We will be able to change them in a much better place in just a minute. So just click Install. It will take a few seconds, and then WordPress is installed. And now you can click this link to visit your website. And it looks like it's working, and we are officially live on the internet. So that's awesome. If your website doesn't work yet, then don't worry. It sometimes takes 10 or 20 minutes for it to spread all around the internet. So just give it some time and try again in a few minutes. And now that our website is live, the first thing we want to do is log in. To do this, just go to yourwebsite.com and write /wp-admin at the end. And then enter in your username and password that you created earlier, and then press login. And now this is our admin dashboard. From here on out, we will be able to change everything on our website from inside here. And that means that we can close out of the other tabs, and we can also dismiss this message. And from now on, when using your dashboard, it's useful to know that you can easily go back to your actual website by clicking up here. So this is the part of your website that your users can see, but without this admin bar on top. The admin bar here is only for you to see and use when you are logged in as an admin. Your normal visitors won't be able to see it. And you can again click here to quickly and easily go back to your dashboard. So we have this admin dashboard and the admin toolbar on top that only you as an admin can see and use when you're logged in. And now that we know that, let's start to configure our new site. And the first thing we want to do is some cleanup, because our website came with a bunch of pre-installed plugins that we don't need. Plugins for your website are like apps for your phone, and we can click them here to see which ones we have installed. And as you can see, right now we have these two plugins that we're not gonna use, so we can select both of them, and then from bulk actions we can just select delete, and then click apply. Then we confirm, and right now we don't have any more plugins installed. Next up, we have these posts up here. These are your blog posts. As you can see, we have this sample blog post that we don't need, so we can also click trash to delete this. Then open up the trash and click empty trash. And finally, we have our pages over here. These will be the main pages that make up your new website, like your home page and your contact page. So we also don't need these sample pages, so we're gonna just delete them. Again, select all, then from bulk actions click move to trash, then apply. Then go to the trash just like before and click empty trash. Alright, and with that we are ready to start out completely from scratch with a fully clean and fresh WordPress website. And that means we are ready to change our site's general settings down here on the left. Just click settings, and in here we can update our site's title and the tagline, which is like a short description. So I'll change mine to make a blog and step-by-step guide using WordPress, and I will show you why these are important in just a minute. Further down, we can change other things like your admin email, the site's language, your time zone, and other general settings. You can always come here later and change those, but let's leave them as they are for now. So we just want to click Save Changes. Now let's open up a new tab and let's visit our website. And as you can see, we have our new website name up here, as well as in our websites tab. This name and tagline will show up on search engines like Google when people find your website, so that's why it's very important to update it. And with that updated, we can go back to our settings, and there is one more thing that we want to change, so let's click permalinks down here. And we want to change this one to post name like this. This setting is what controls the structure of our website's links or URLs. And we want our blog posts to have really simple link structures. So if you write a blog post with the title Best Coffee, we want it to say best-coffee like this. So after you select post name, just scroll down and click Save Changes, and now your links will have the correct structure. Alright, so we're done with our general settings, and it's time to move on to the fun part, which is our design. If we visit our website right now, we can see this design. This is also called the theme. Theme or design is the same thing when it comes to WordPress. And this is the default WordPress theme. If yours looks different from this, don't worry, we're going to change this default theme for something much better anyway. And to do that, we will use a plugin. Again, this is like an app that you can install on your website. To get this plugin, first let's go back to our dashboard, and then for plugins, click Add New. And then search for Starter Templates. This is a great plugin that will allow us to import a starting design, which will save us hours and hours of work. As you can see, it has amazing reviews and over 1 million websites use it. So click Install Now and then Activate. And now our new plugin is installed, and if we mouse over appearance, we can see this new starter templates options that it has added in here. We can click it and then scroll down and click build your website now. Then it asks us which page builder we want to use, and Elementor is by far the best one, so we just click Elementor. Next we can pick the starting design that we want to use, but we're not really interested in any of these specific designs because we will build our own. We just want to get a good starting point that will save us a lot of time. So just follow what I'm doing for now and search for Love Nature. And there's this one over here, so we can click it. And then we are offered a bunch of options, but again we shouldn't worry about any of this right now. We will do all of it in a much better place later. So just click skip and continue, then scroll down and click continue, and then we don't have to change any of this, just click submit and build my website. It will take less than a minute, but I will edit the video to speed it up. And now it's done. Our new starting design is imported into our site. We can click view your website and look at this, it's so much better than before. This starting design is super simple and is perfect for what we need. Our final blog that we are designing won't look too much like this one, but it's a great starting point. So let's go back to our starter templates, and then on the top right we can exit back to the dashboard. And let's take a look at our plugins to do a quick recap. Starter Templates is the plugin that we installed ourselves, and it gave us the ability to import that starting design. Elementor is our visual page builder that we chose when we imported that starter template. And WP Forms Lite is another plugin that came with our new template. This one allows us to insert a contact form on our contact page. And then if we go to Appearance and Themes, we can see that our import has also installed this Astra theme. This is one of the best and fastest WordPress themes out there, so that's perfect. And it did all of that for us in just a few clicks. Like I said, it saved us a ton of time. So now that we have our starting design, let's change it into the professional blog that we want to make. First, let's go to our pages inside our menu, and these are the 4 pages that came with our template. If we go to our website, we can also see that we have our homepage and then we have our About, Services and Contact pages. I will show you how to edit all of these pages in just a minute. But for now, let's quickly set up the final pages that we want to have on our blog. And out of these pages, I will want to keep the home and the contact pages, but I will not need this About and this Services for now. So we can move them both to the trash and apply, and don't worry, you will be able to recover them from your trash later if you want. But for the blog I'm building, I want to add 2 new pages. So first, let's click Add New, close out of this, and I want the title of my new page to be Blog. On this blog page, we will show the most recent posts on our blog. And then on the top right, we have 2 types of settings. We have these general settings and we have these Astra settings. From our Astra settings, I want to open up Advanced, and for this blog page, I want to enable the transparent header like this. We do this because we will use a transparent header for our design of this page. It will make a lot more sense later when we get to building this page. So for now, just click Return to Post, and then click Publish, and Publish again to save our new page. Now we can click this W on the top left to go back to our pages, and I will want to add another new page. The title for this one will be Reviews. And again, I already have the Astra settings open, and I want to go to Advanced and enable the transparent header, and then Return to Post. Now we can publish this page as well, and publish again, and then on the top left we can return to our pages. And now we are left with the base structure of our website. We are going to build 4 pages: Home, Blog, Reviews, and Contact. And you can always add more pages if you want, like an About page or that Services page. But we will stick with these ones to start. So let's go ahead and add our new pages to our menu, because if we visit our website and then refresh it, as you can see, we only have Home and Contact left in here for now. So we can go to our dashboard and then go to Appearance and go to Menus. From here, we can edit every single item inside our menu. We have our home and our contact pages that we want to keep, and we have our About and Services pages, which are invalid because we just moved them to the trash. So we can click these arrows to expand, and then we can remove them. Let's do the same for the Services page, remove it. And now we want to add these 2 new pages to our menu, so we can select them in here, and then click Add to Menu. So now we have all of our 4 pages, and we can drag and drop them to rearrange them. I will want my home page to be first, my blog page to be second, and then we will have Reviews and Contact. I also think they will look much cooler in our menu with capitalized letters, so I can open Home like this, and then I can capitalize its navigation label, and then I can do the same for the blog, for the reviews, and for Contact. And this will be our final menu, so I can click Save Menu. Now we can go back to our homepage and then refresh it, and we can see our new menu setup up here. We can also scroll all the way down on our homepage and we can see this footer menu down here that has also automatically updated. And now that we have our main page set up and the correct menu, it is time to start designing our homepage. To start editing this design, let's go back to our dashboard and then click Pages. Here we can edit all of the pages that we've just set up. To start editing our home, just mouse over it and then edit with Elementor. And this is Elementor, our visual page builder. We can close out of this navigator for now, and from here we will be able to change most of our design. I know this may look a bit intimidating at first, but it's super easy. The main concept here is that any element that you see on the right, you can click it and then edit it on the left. For example, we can click this nature text in the middle, and we can change it to anything that we want on the left, like this. We could also do things like realign it to the left, right, or center. The best way to learn is by doing, so we will learn everything by changing this design together. Let's just get started and I will explain everything as we go. We will work our way through this design from top to bottom, so let's start with this first big section up here. This is known as the hero section because it is the first thing that people see when they come to your website. And the first thing is we have too much text over here and we don't need it, so we want to delete it. If we mouse over all of this text and the button, we can see this blue box pop up. It outlines the element that we're mousing over. I want to only keep this top "we all love" text, and I want to delete everything below it. So I can just mouse over every single element and then right click and delete. And let's do the same for the other two elements, just like this. And now I can select my remaining text and I can edit it on the left. And for this video, I wanted to make a blog about coffee or about travel. I really couldn't decide which, so I'm just gonna make it about both. So in here, I'm just gonna type in coffee and travel. And now we can make our text look much better by going to the Style tab over here on the left. This tab has all of the settings that control the design of our text. So we can change its color here, for example, and we can make it anything that we want, but I'm just gonna keep it white like it was. We can also edit the font of our text by opening up typography over here, and this font family is the font that our text uses. There are thousands and thousands of options to choose from in here. I have a specific one in mind and I can search for it in here, and it's called Anton. Then I can select it in here. Then we can change the size of our text by just dragging this, and I'm gonna make mine 90. Then I want to scroll down and we have this letter spacing that is -3 right now. I'm just gonna make it 0. And with that we are done with our text and I think it looks way better. So next up I want to change the big section behind our text. As you can see, when we mouse over outside our text, we see this blue rectangle around it. This is our whole section and we can select it up here by just clicking this icon. And now on the left we can adjust the style settings for our whole section. First I want to change this background image, so we can click it. And now we can upload our own image. You can use your own images, or you can find awesome and free to use images online on websites such as pixabay.com, unsplash.com or pexels.com. But I will also provide a zip archive in the description below with all of the images that I'm gonna use. I encourage you to download that archive and use the same images as me while learning. That way you can just follow the same steps as me for now, and then you can come back here later and change the images with your own if you want. So just click Select Files, and this one is the archive from the description. It's called Make an Amazing Blog. You can open it and then go to Pages, and I will upload this homepage image. Then we can insert media. Sweet, so now if we click this arrow on the left, we can preview our website in its full size. And it looks great, but I want to change a couple more settings for our image. So let's click the arrow again. And then this position setting here is the main focus point of your image. I want mine to be focused in on the bottom center like this. Now if we preview it again, I think it looks much better. But I also want this text to be higher up within our section, and we can easily change that. Let's go back to our settings and open up the Advanced tab. In here, with this padding setting, we can change how much space is on top of our text and at the bottom of our text as well. So we can change the top to 20 pixels, and as you can see, now we have less space up here. I also want to add 50 pixels of space to the bottom, and as you can see, that has added the space below our text. Now let's preview it again, and now I think the text is aligned perfectly and the background image is taking the full height of our screen. So I think this looks perfect. But if we go back to our website and refresh the page, as you can see, our new design hasn't updated in here yet. That's because if we go back to Elementor and we open up our settings, the changes that we've made here so far are just a draft for now. When we are ready to apply them to our actual website, we need to click this green update button down here. And now we can again go back and refresh our homepage. And now we can see our new design. But there is still something I don't like in here. The white menu text is a little bit hard to read on this background image, which is quite bright. And we can fix that by going back to Elementor. And for our section, let's go to Style Settings. From here we can scroll down and open up Background Overlay. This is like a cover of a certain color that will sit on top of our image. The color right now is black and we want to leave it that way. Then we can drag this opacity around to make our cover more or less transparent. But I don't want this black cover to spread across my whole image. I only want it on the top of our image behind our menu text, which is gonna be here. So on the left we can change the background type from classic to gradient. And for our colors we can make our cover go from black to fully transparent. So for the second color we can drag this all the way to the left to make the color transparent. And let me also change the opacity down here to 1 because that's gonna make it easier to see what we're doing. Then for the second color we can change its location to have it spread only at the top of our image like this. I will make mine 30 and I will also change the opacity to only 50% so we can put in 0.5. Now we can change the background type back to classic and then back to gradient and you can see the difference in here. Our black overlay now sits only at the top instead of on our whole image. And finally we can select our big text here and for its style settings we can give it a text shadow. So just click this and then for the color we're gonna make it black and we will change this blur to 35. And now we have that shadow behind our text. I can press Ctrl Z or you can press Command Z if you're on a Mac to undo any change and then Ctrl Shift Z to redo that change. And as you can see, by doing this we can see a before and after of that change. Now we can hit update to save our changes. And our first big section is looking great, so let's move on to the next one. And down here, instead of our services, I will want to display the latest blog posts from our site. But that's a problem because right now we don't have any way to display them here. We can come up with a way to fix that by installing a new plugin. So let's go back to our dashboard by going to yourwebsite.com/wp-admin. Then just like before, go to Plugins, then Add New. And we want to search for Unlimited Elements. And this is the plugin that will help us insert blog posts on our homepage. So click Install Now, then Activate. And for this we can click Skip. And this is Unlimited Elements. It allows us to install all sorts of new widgets for us to use inside Elementor. The ones that we're interested in are right here under Post Widgets. We can scroll down and I'm interested in 3 of these widgets that I want to install. First let's install this Post Blocks and then this Post List. And finally, we are looking for post pagination and we can find it here. Now we've installed all of them and they will be ready for us to use inside Elementor. You'll see exactly how we're gonna use them in just a minute. But for us to show our latest posts on our homepage, we first need some actual blog posts. So let's quickly insert some sample posts. They will help us so much with actually visualizing our design and making it look exactly how we want. But don't worry about writing your own posts for now. Just use the sample content that I'll provide for you and you can come back later to write your own posts. So to insert a new one, let's first go to Posts and we want to go to Add New. I will just right click it and then open link in a new tab. And then from here we can give our new post a title and insert content in here like text and images content for us to use. Download it from the description and open it like this. You will see this posts folder, so let's open it. And inside we have some titles for our blog posts, some text and some images to use inside, and also some more featured images. They are all usable for free and I got them from unsplash.com. So first let's open up this blog titles text file and I will copy over this first title and then I will paste it inside our blog post. And then here we can type in some blog content and it will be displayed inside our post. But we want to go back to our archive and then open up this blog text file. Let's select everything that is inside it and then copy, and then we can close out of it and I will paste everything inside our content. And now I want to make some small adjustments. I want to make our subheadings bigger than the normal paragraph text. So I can click this first one to select it, then click this icon and select heading. And then I also want to type its number in front of it. So this is number 1 because it's the first item in our list. Further down we also have number 2, so we repeat the same steps and make it a heading and type in number 2. And I will repeat the same for the other 4 items in my list and we can fast forward through it. So now we have 6 list items and we also want to make this last one into a heading. This is for our conclusion. So our paragraphs are done, but I still want to insert an image somewhere inside our content. Let's say here, inside our second list item. We can click right here and then press enter to create a new line. Then we can mouse over it and we can click this plus over on the right and we will select an image to insert it. Then click upload. And again, this is our archive, so I want to go to posts and then select this blog-content one. Then open it. Alright, sweet. So now we have our blog post ready with its title, this image, and all of the content. We need to add one more thing, and that is a featured image. This image will be displayed at the top of our blog posts on our site. And we can insert it on the right. So first make sure that you click this cogwheel icon, and then click post to open up the post settings. We can scroll down and we will find this featured image, and then we can select featured image. Let's go to upload files and then select files, and again from our archive we will select this one, blog-1. Then click set featured image, and now it is uploaded inside here. Finally, we also want to create some categories for our blog. As you can see, we don't have any of them right now, but we can press add new category, and I will create a coffee category, then press add new. And then I will also create travel, and then I will create general. And for this first post that we're editing right now, I will only assign it to the general category. So now we can click publish, and then again publish, and we can go back to our dashboard and refresh. And now we can see our new post is public in here. It has our title, and as you can see, it is in the general category. So now we have one blog post, but we want 8 more sample blog posts for a total of 9. This will give us enough to work with for our full design. So we can close out of this tab for now because we don't need it. And then again we can hold down Ctrl on Windows or Command on a Mac and we can click Add New 8 times. So now we have our first post here that we published, and then we have 8 more that we're gonna create. The best way to do this is to go to the first post and then select everything in here, then right click and copy. Then we can go to our second tab and paste all of the content inside here. Then I will repeat the same for all of the others, but we can fast forward this because it's repetitive. Now we need titles for all of our new posts, so we can go back to that blog titles text file and we can select the titles and copy them in order. I will again fast forward through this because it's very repetitive. Just like before, copy each title and paste it inside your new posts. And finally, also in our blog titles text file, you can see that I've assigned featured images and categories for each blog. So I'm just gonna go to the second blog, and for its featured image down here, I'm gonna set it, then upload files, select files, and I will select blog-2, and we can set featured image. And now again, we need to repeat the same process for the other 7 posts, so I'm gonna fast forward through this. Alright, sweet, and the last thing to do is to assign the categories. So for the first 6 posts, I will assign them to general, and for the last 3, we will make them coffee, then travel, and then also coffee. Also for these last ones, I will want to give them a tag in here. So we can open this up and I will write in reviews and then press enter. And I will do the same thing for the other 2 posts. We will use this tag later and you will see exactly why. And now we are ready to publish all of our sample content in the right order. Go to the first post, and this one is published already, so we can go to the second one and then click publish and publish again. Now we can repeat the same for the third one and all of the other ones in order. And finally, we can close out of all of these tabs, and on our posts page, we can refresh it. And as you can see, we now have 9 beautiful sample posts ready to go. They are in various categories, and the newest 3 have this reviews tag. This sample content will allow us to see how all of our blog posts will look in our final design. At the end, you can come back here and delete these if you want, and write your own instead. Alright, awesome, so now that we're ready, let's get back to our design. Again, go back to Pages, and for our homepage, click Edit with Elementor. So now we are ready to replace this Our Services section, and we will have our latest posts instead. I will delete this text, and we also want to delete this separator and this inner section, and I will also delete all of these sections below because we're not going to use them. And by the way, anything that you do in Elementor, if you accidentally make a mistake, you can simply Ctrl-Z on Windows or Command-Z on a Mac, and you will undo any change just like this. You can also Ctrl-Shift-Z to redo that change, and again you can Ctrl-Z. It comes in really handy. I will keep this questions section for now, just in case we might want to use it later. And now we can build out our middle section. First, to insert our blog posts in here, we will need to add a new widget. To access your widgets, you can always make sure you are on this page by clicking up here on this icon. And we will want to drag in a heading element like this. And we can write something like latest articles. Then go to style, and for the color, I will want to make this one black. Now again, we can click our widgets icon up here, and in the search box, we can type in post. Now we can see these three elements with this blue icon on top. They have this icon because they were inserted here by that Unlimited Elements plugin that we installed earlier. So let's drag in a post blocks right under our latest articles, and then we can press update to save these changes. We can open up a new tab and then go to our website to see how it looks. And they are already looking pretty sweet, but I think we could get them to look even better than this, so let's go back to Elementor. And the first thing we want to do is edit this big section, so click on its icon to select it. And then for content width, we can make it full width so that it becomes as wide as it can. Then from advanced, for this padding, we want to set it to percentage first, like this. And I will want to give it 6% padding on the left and 6% padding on the right. And for margin, I want to do 60 pixels top and bottom. We can now preview our section, and I think the spacing is just right. So let's go back. And then we want to select this posts element so we can click it. And then on the left, this grid gap is the space between each of our columns. And I want to make this one 40 pixels. Now we can scroll down and we find this posts query. In here, we can tell it which posts we want displayed and how many. By default, this displays our latest posts, which is exactly what we want. But we want to change this max posts over here to 9. And then we can scroll up and we can move on to style. Here we can say how thick we want our borders, and I will make them 1 pixel. These are these gray borders that are around each one of our blog posts. Now we can minimize this and we can open up content. This is the spacing around our text, and I will make it 20 pixels all around. Next up, for image, I want to make its height 220 pixels. I just think that makes it cleaner. Then for the title, I want it to become green when we mouse over it. So for the title color hover, we can click this globe icon and we can select this green theme color in here. Then we can open up typography and let's make it a little bigger. I will set the size to 24 pixels, and for weight, I want 700 to make it a bit thicker. So we can click out of this, and then let's move on to our text. It's a bit hard to see in this gray color, so we can open up the globe again, and I will pick this secondary color. And finally, let's configure the button. I want to unlink these padding values, and then I want 30 pixels on the left and 30 pixels of padding on the right to make it a bit wider. And then this button radius is how rounded our button is, and I will just go with 4 pixels. For its background color, I will again choose this theme color green. And for the hover color, I will choose this hover green. Now we can see that when we mouse over our button. So let's update these changes. And let's check out how it looks on our homepage. So this is how it looked before, and we can refresh the page, and this is how it looks now. I think it's a great improvement. However, we still have a problem, because as you can see here, on some screens that are a different size, our titles can get too long. That makes everything else move down as well, and our read more buttons become misaligned like this. This makes everything else look unprofessional. It's not that huge of a deal, but it bothers me, so I want to show you how you can fix it. This is completely optional, but I will show you a little bit of code that you can easily copy to fix this. So we can open up a new tab and then go to the dashboard by visiting yourwebsite.com wp/admin. Then go to Appearance and then Customize. Then scroll down and go to Additional CSS. And over here we can create some space on top just like this. And now we can copy our code in here. So open up that archive that you have from the description below. And then go to this CSS folder. Inside, you will find this additional CSS text file. In here, you can find this 1.0 code for the homepage. We can select it and then copy. Then go back to WordPress and paste it up here. We can also scroll down this previewer on the right, and we can see what this code does. So the main idea here is that if you change this to 1, your titles will never be able to take more than 1 line. If you change it to 2, they will be able to take a maximum of 2 lines. I like to leave it at 2 or 3, and we will go with 3, but you can change it to something else if you prefer. Now we can click Publish to save this, and then we can close this tab. Now we are back in Elementor, and as you can see, this button is misaligned. But if we refresh this page, we can go down to check it out again, and as you can see, everything is professionally aligned. Our problem is fixed, and our titles cannot stretch more than 3 lines long. And if we preview this page in its full size, it also looks perfect. And again, this last step was optional, but I wanted to show you how to fix it. And I think it's super easy to just copy over that bit of code that I wrote for you. Alright, sweet. With that, we are completely done with our post list on our homepage. Let's move on to this final section. You could keep it as it is if you like this design, but I want to make it a bit more special. In here, I want to link photos from an Instagram account. You could link this to your own personal Instagram account, or you could make a separate business one for your brand or blog. It will insert your cool images in here and they will update automatically every time we post something new to our Instagram. And I think it's a super cool feature for something like a coffee shop or a travel blog. So let's start by deleting this section, and then you could make a new section from scratch by clicking this plus icon. But I will save you some time because I've already built it for you. So what we can do is we can click this gray icon and then we can click Import Template up here. Then select File, go to our archive and open up this templates over here. And then select Homepage Social Media. Then click Enable and Import. And now we have this new template available. We can insert it and then click Don't Apply. Now we have our template imported and you can edit everything that you want in here. For example, Freya von Coffee is a persona that I created for this blog. This is the name of the Instagram account. So you can change the name in here and you can also update this link to your own Instagram profile. Alright, but as you can see, our content doesn't show in here quite yet. We only have this shortcode that says Instagram-feed. For it to work, we need to install a new plugin first. So for now, let's update our changes and then let's go back to our dashboard, wp-admin. Go to plugins and then add new. And in the search box, let's search for Instagram. We want this Smash Balloon social photo feed plugin, so install it and then activate. Now over on the left, we can find this new Instagram feed. Mouse over it and then click All Feeds. To connect our Instagram, click Add New and then Next and then click this Add Source. We will be redirected to log in with our Instagram, but first we want to open up a new tab and go to instagram.com. You want to first make sure that you are logged in into the correct Instagram account. And as you can see, I'm logged into this Freya von Coffee account. We've made this account specifically for our coffee blog example. Then we can go back to our site and we want to opt out of these emails and then log in with Instagram. Click Allow and now you can see your account connected in here. Enable this checkbox and then click Next. We can close out of this and now we can see a preview of how our Instagram content will look like on our site. First I want to get rid of this up here so I can open up header and then disable it. Then go back and I also want to disable this load button, so click Load More button over here and then disable it. Go back and let's also open up this follow button and also disable it and go back. We only want a super simple feed of our photos and now we've got it. Next we can open up feed layout and then scroll down and this padding is the spacing between each photo. I don't want any spacing so I'm just gonna type in 0. Then we have how many photos we want to show on desktop and mobile, and I want 8 photos for both. And then how many columns we want to display on desktop, tablet and mobile. I want 8 columns for desktop, and I want 4 columns for tablet and also 4 columns for mobile. Now over on the right we can scroll up and we have these 3 icons. This is the desktop version and we see the preview, and we can also check out tablet and it looks great, and then move on to mobile and this one also looks good. So now that we're happy with all of this, we can click Save. Then we can go to our homepage and refresh it. And let's scroll down and we can check out our result. And I think this is looking super impressive. We have our Instagram content here and we can click any image to see more of it. And again, this whole section is dynamic. So this means whenever you make a new post on Instagram, it will also update here a few minutes later. I think this is a super cool feature and it also adds more unique content to your site. This shows your visitors and to Google that you are a real person. And Google usually loves signals like this. But all of that said, this is completely optional. If you don't have an Instagram, you can skip this and not worry about it. Or you could go back to your dashboard, and as you can see over here we have some more options like a Facebook feed, a Twitter feed, or a YouTube one. We will stick with Instagram for our example, but you can also explore these other options too. Alright, so our homepage is now looking super good on desktop. But does it look just as good on tablet or mobile? Let's take a quick look. We will go back to our pages and then again edit our homepage with Elementor. Then on the bottom left we have this small responsive mode icon. We can click it And that opens up this bar up here with 3 different modes. We can select tablet, and now we are previewing our website as if we are on a tablet. We can scroll through it and it looks pretty good for the most part, but we will want to make some quick adjustments. To begin, let's first go all the way up and we will select our first big section. For our section height, we can make it smaller over here. I will make mine 300 pixels. You should note that this changes the height just for tablet. We know that because next to the minimum height setting, we have this small tablet icon. And as you can see, tablet mode is selected, which means this setting will apply only for the tablet version. So our height is now perfect, and next we can select this text. We can go to Style, and then open up Typography. And next to Size, we also have that small icon, which means we can give it a unique setting just for tablet. I will make the size smaller, 75 pixels. Next I want to go to Advanced, and for padding, I'm gonna unlink the values, and set the bottom padding to 50 pixels to move the text higher up. And now I think the first section is looking pretty good. So let's move on to the second one and select it. And we want to fix this space up here. There's way too much space, so we can go to Advanced and set the margin values to 0 for tablet. And for padding, we want to do 50 pixels at the top and 0 pixels at the bottom. Finally, I want to select this posts element, so I can just click it. And then for the grid gap, I'm gonna set it to 20. And with that, we fixed the spacing between our columns and up here as well. And all of the rest of the page is looking great, so we can move on to the mobile mode. We can just click it up here. And again, let's start by selecting the first section. I will also make the height smaller at 250 pixels. Then again move on to the second section, select it, and let's make the top padding just 40 pixels. And we can scroll down to check out the rest of it, and everything is looking fine, but once we get to the bottom, we also want to fix this space down here. So for the bottom padding, let's set it to 0 as well. And now everything is perfect. Note that inside Elementor you won't be able to see this Instagram content because it is inserted by that other plugin. But this is completely normal and you shouldn't worry about it. And with that, we are completely finished with the responsiveness for our homepage, so we can just click Update to save those changes. Now let's go back to our homepage and refresh it, and there are 2 elements left for us to fully finish this design. We still need to update this bottom section, which is called the footer. And also, if we scroll all the way up, we also have this top section called the header. These are global elements on our website, because if we click this contact page, for example, we can see that exact same header on this page also. And because these are global elements, we cannot edit them directly in Elementor. I will show you exactly how to edit them in a minute, but first we want to have our own logo ready to insert here inside our header. If you don't have a logo yet, I will show you how to make one super quickly and easily. Just open up a new tab and then go to logomaker.com. Then we can click Start My Design. And now it's super easy to make any logo inside Logo Maker. We can use these tools on the left to add things like text and shapes. And we can use this search bar up here to add all sorts of graphics and icons. For my logo, I just want a super simple one, because simple logos are the best. Some of the biggest brands in the world like Apple or Nike have the most simple logos. And they are very easy to recognize and remember. So for example, I could search for a coffee beans icon up here. And then you are offered thousands and thousands of options that you can choose from. I've looked through these earlier and I found one that I really like, and I can simply copy its ID here to find it. And there's this one, so I can just click it to insert, and I will use this as my super simple logo. And I want it to be perfectly square to fit neatly into our website. So down here over on the right, we can move these layers, and then we can click this crop icon right here. And then I want to make this a perfect square, so for example 350 by 350 pixels. And then click this apply crop icon. Now we can also select our icon and then adjust its size to make it as big as we can. Then click it and drag it to center it inside our new square. You can also use your arrow keys for more precision. Then with my icon selected, I can give it any color over on the right. Or I can just paste in my color code to get that same green color that we use throughout our site. And now I just want to save it, so we can click this on the top right, and then just click download low resolution PNG file. Accept the terms, and then download. And I will name this one logo-green, then save it. Now we can close out of here and then select our icon again, and this time I want to save a white version. So make it white like this and then save it again. You will see why we need a white version in just a minute. So again, download low resolution, accept the terms, and download. I will name this one logo-white. And that's it, we have our logos ready to go, so let's close out of Logo Maker. And now we are completely ready to start editing our header. So let's go back to our Elementor tab, and then go back to our dashboard, like this. Then we can go to Appearance and Customize. Here we can click Header Builder. And for our header, it's important to understand that we have two versions of it. For the first version, we can click any blog post like this, and we can preview it in here. Notice how our header background is white, and we also have our green logo and green menu. So this is the first version of our header, and if we go back to our homepage, this is the second version of it. This one is transparent, and it is stacked on top of our image, and it has this transparent background that lets us see the image behind it. Also, our logo and our menu text are white this time. So let's start by editing our normal header first while previewing it on a blog post page. And editing it is very similar to Elementor. We have our elements down here, our logo, menu and button, and they are the ones inside our header. We have the logo, menu and button that we can barely see right now. So let's click this site title and logo element first, and we can change its settings on the left. To update our logo, we can simply click Change Logo, and then let's go to Upload Files, select Files, and from the archive in the description, we can choose this green version of our logo. Then we select it. We can skip cropping because we've already done it in Logo Maker. And now we have our new logo inserted into our header. From down here, you can change its size if you want, but I think 60 pixels was perfect. Then we can move on and click our primary menu, and we can click the Design tab to change how it looks. We have a bunch of settings in here, and if you wanted to change its color, you could do it over here. But I like it green, and I only want to change this menu font, so I can click this icon. And I want to make it a little bigger, so I'm gonna put in 18 pixels for size. Next up, I don't really like how this button looks, so I want to replace it with some social media icons. Let's start by removing the button, and we can just click this X to delete it. Then we can mouse over this, and we can click this plus. And I will select this social element to insert the social media icons. Now we can click the social to edit it, and on the left I only want to keep Instagram, so I can click X to delete the other two. Now we can click on Instagram to edit it, and for the icon I want to change it, so I can click this, and then I will search Instagram. And I think this other Instagram icon will look much better, so I'm gonna select it. And finally we want to copy our Instagram profile in here. So let's go to a new tab, go to instagram.com. And you might have to log in first, but I can just go to my profile over here, and then I will copy this link, and we can go back to our WordPress and we can paste it in here. So now our Instagram icon will lead to this profile. Next we can move on to design, and I want to make it much bigger, so for the icon size I'm gonna make it 36. Finally, I want to make it green like the rest of the header items. So for icon color we can click it, and down here we can select from our global theme colors, and I'm just gonna select our green. The next one is our hover color, and I'm gonna select this yellow. So now our social icon is green, and when we mouse over it, it becomes that other yellow color. And finally, I want to separate my header a little bit more from the rest of the page. So we can click this gear icon to select the whole header. Then from the Design tab, we can give it a bottom border of 1 pixel. And we can also change its color to the same green from before. Alright, and I think our header is looking great on desktop. We can use these 3 icons down here to check the tablet and mobile versions. And when we switch to tablet, we notice that our menu becomes this toggle button for mobile devices. But I also want to make it green, so we can select it down here, then just go to Design, and for background color, I'm gonna select the same green down here. And that looks much better, so let's move on to mobile. And I'm gonna zoom the page out so you can see it better. I think it looks great. Alright, so with that we are done with our normal header design for all devices. We just need to click Publish up here to save all of our changes. And now we can switch back to the desktop view. And let's move on to our transparent header. Click back up here on the left. So now we're back to our header builder and click Home to see our transparent header. And as you can see, WordPress is now telling us that this page is using the transparent header. So we can click here to customize it. And let's start by updating our logo down here. Again, we're gonna upload files, select files, and select our white logo. Choose image. And our new logo is looking great. So let's move on to design. And from this tab you can change all sorts of colors for your transparent header. I only want to change my social icon color, and we can do that in here. I will make the normal color white, and I also want to make the hover color white. Now the desktop version is looking great, so let's move on to mobile. And once again we want to adjust the toggle button. So for that we can scroll down and we find this toggle color. I will make its background white like this. And for the icon I want to select our theme green color. And now I think this is also looking way better. We can again make sure the mobile version looks good. And it's looking perfect, so let's just click publish to save our changes. And just like that, both of our standard and transparent headers are done. And they look perfect on all devices. So it's time to move on to our footer. We can click this back button twice. And now instead of header builder, we will go to footer builder. And this is our footer. The good news is we only have one version of it, so we only have to make the changes once. Let's start by changing our logo, and we can click this middle element to edit it. And then from the left we can click our logo, and then let's click this crayon icon that says edit. Over on the right we can replace it, and let's upload files, select files, and let's select the green version of our logo. Then click replace, and now we have our new logo in here, but it's way too big. So let's click edit again. Then we want to center it in the middle, and for size we want to give it a custom size. And I think 50 pixels by 50 works great for our logo. Then for link, we can set it to custom URL, and you can type in your homepage in here, or you can just write / like this. This will simply make it redirect to your homepage when clicked. So let's hit update, and now our logo is looking perfect. So let's move on to this copyright element. This is the text that you can see here. You can write whatever you want to replace it, and I will simply write Coffee and Travel WP Maker. You can also select some text in here, and then click this to insert a link. And I will link this to my website, wpmkr.com. And now our text has become a link. I don't really like this yellow color, but I will show you how to change it in just a second. For now, let's select our whole footer on the gear icon like this. And then under design, we have this background color for our whole footer. I want to change it, and I want to make it the same green that is on top of it. So we can scroll down and we can click this. And in here, I can input the hex color code. For the light green that I want, the color code is this, the same one as in Elementor for the section on top of our footer. Then we can again check tablet, and let's scroll down to it and make sure it looks good. And I'm super happy with it, so let's move on to mobile. And the mobile version is looking great as well, as you can see. So now we can click publish to save our changes. And now we are completely done with our header and footer. Now I want to go back to the desktop version, and I still want to show you how to change this yellow color right here. This is a site-wide global color used for all of the links on your website. So it is used down here, but it's also used in places like our menu. We can change global website colors like this one very easily. We can again go back to our customizer, and let's open up the global settings and then go to colors. We are mainly interested in this horizontal line of global colors. The first 4 colors here are the most important, and they are used throughout our theme. For our design, I want to change the first 2 yellow colors and just make them different shades of green. So let's start with the first color, and I will just input a hex color code like this. And for the second color, I will go with yet another shade of green, and is this one. Now we can click out of here, and as you can see, our colors have updated in here. So our new link color is this first palette color, and we can see it on our text in here. And all of the other links on our website were updated with this green as well. So you can always come back here and change your global colors if you change your mind or for whatever reason. This color palette here is really cool because it allows us to change our colors in one place for our whole website instead of changing them one by one for every single element. So if you make websites for clients, this comes in really handy because they change their mind all the time. And with that said, let's click publish to save our changes. And there is one final global design setting we want to change in our customizer. And that is our site icon up here in our tab. So we can X out of this to go back to our dashboard, and then let's open up appearance and customize again. Now we can go to site identity, and let's click select site icon. We can choose the green version of our logo and then click select. We can skip cropping, and then again publish our changes. Now we can go back to our homepage and refresh it, and as you can see, our site icon has updated in all of our browser tabs. I think it looks great. And with that, we are completely done with the base design of our homepage. Our header is finished and looks amazing too, and our blog posts below it look great. We've also designed our Instagram content section, and our footer is looking great below it. Later on, we will come back to our homepage and I will show you how to add some more cool things on top, like our featured posts and a subscribe box up here. They are optional but super useful and cool. So we will come back to this homepage later, but first let's move on to designing our blog page. To edit our blog page, let's go back to our dashboard and then to pages. And from here we want to open our blog page first, so I'm gonna right click it and then open it in a new tab. Let's go to it, and first we need to activate Elementor on this page by clicking this Edit with Elementor up here. So now that we've finished our homepage, the rest of the pages will be much easier, including this blog page. We want to work as smart as possible, so we'll start by copying over some elements from our homepage that we already made. So in this other tab, we can open up our homepage inside Elementor, and then we want to copy this whole first section over here. We can mouse over it, then on this icon we can right click it and then copy. Let's go to our blog page, and then inside this gray rectangle we can right click and then paste. And we can also go back to our homepage and then scroll all the way down. And we also want to copy this final section, so again right click and copy. Then go back to the blog, scroll down, and inside this rectangle right click and paste. Now we are ready to make some changes for these new sections to suit our blog page. So for our hero section we can select this text, and then I'm going to change this text to latest posts. I also want to select the whole section, then go to style, and let's change this image to a unique one. So upload files, and then select files. And from our archive we can go to pages, then select this image for the blog page. Let's insert it. And now this top section is looking amazing, and it's already mobile responsive because we copied it from the homepage. And this bottom section is also fine already, so I'm just gonna keep it like it is. Now we just want to add our blog posts in the middle. So click this plus down here to add a new section and select one column, and then we can drag and drop it into the middle like this. Inside it, we want to insert our blog posts in a list format. So we can open up our widgets on the top left and then search for post. We want to drag in this post list element like this. And then if we have many posts like this, we want to be able to split them into pages. So let's go back to our widgets again, search for post, and then drag in this post pagination element right below our posts. Alright, and now this doesn't look too good, but let's improve it. Let's start by selecting our whole big section. And we want to adjust its spacing under advanced. So let's unlink these margin values, and I will give it a top margin of 80 pixels and a bottom margin of 60 pixels. Next, click our post list element to select it, and let's make it look much better. First, for list gap, I want to give it more space between our posts, so I'm gonna put in 60 pixels. And then I want a bit more text below our title, so I'm gonna put in 200 characters in here. Then we can scroll down and open up additional data. And here you can display different information about the post. I just want to show the publish date like this. But I don't want this date icon before it, so I can just click this small icon to remove it. Move further down, and for posts query, we can tell it what posts we want to display and how many. And I want to show all published posts, but I only want to show 4 posts per page. So instead of 10, I'm gonna type in 4. So now we only have 4 posts in here, and they're gonna be split into pages. You'll see how it works in just a second, but for now let's move further down, and for posts pagination, we also want to change this, and we want to activate using pagination widget. This will enable the page numbers down here to work. And now we are ready to move on to the style tab. I want to change this gray background color that each post has, and we can do it in here, so I'm just gonna make it white. Then I'll move on to image options, and here we can change the width and height of our images. I want to make them bigger, so I'm gonna make the width 400 pixels and the height 250 pixels. I also think it's gonna look better with rounded corners, so for the image radius we can change this to 30. And then we can change the styling of our title. So let's open up title, and when we hover our mouse over it, I want it to be green. So we can click this globe and select theme color 3. And for typography, I want to make the size bigger, so I'm gonna make mine 36 pixels. And for line height, I'm gonna change that to 48 pixels. Now I think our titles are the perfect size, and when we mouse over them, we get that green theme color. Next up, let's move on to this additional data tab, because this is what controls our date in here. And I want to open up this color, and I just want it a little bit more transparent. And I think this is perfect. Then I want to align it properly because it's misaligned right now. So for this data spacing, I want to put in 10. This has created more space on top of our date. And I also want to move it a little to the left, so we can remove this data icon gap and make it 0. And now, if we preview everything, I think it's looking pretty good. But I still want a little bit more space between my image and the text. For that, we can scroll back up to content, and we have this content padding that controls that spacing. We should unlink the values first, and then I want to make this 15, 25, 25, 25. That has created more space around our text, and I think it looks better. And of course, you can play with all of these settings yourself and come up with a completely different look if you want. But I think what we have right now works great. So next, let's move on to our post pagination below. We can click the element to select it, and I like to disable this show all, and then scroll down, and also from previous next buttons, also disable this show text. This makes it so that only our relevant page buttons are shown in here, just like our preview right now. Then let's move on to style, and I want to scroll down to the current page, and for current page background, I want to change it to theme color 3. This controls this background color, which is black right now. And sometimes in Elementor it doesn't update, so if this happens to you, you might just have to click on this color like this. And now it refreshed and we can see our green color in here. Finally, let's go to advanced, unlink the margins, and let's add some spacing on top. I will want to add 25 pixels. Now let's hit update, and now we can go on our official website to see how it looks. Let's check out our blog page, and this is how our blog page looks right now. I think it's awesome. We have 4 blog posts here per page, and then we can move on to the second page, and we have the following 4 blog posts, and so on. This pagination is really useful because we never really want to show 50 blog posts on a single page. So our desktop version looks great, but we want to go back to Elementor and check out responsive mode. Let's open up tablet, and most of our elements already work great because we copied them over from our home page. But we still need to adjust this middle section which we've just built from scratch. So let's first select the whole section, and from advanced we want to unlink the margins because we want a smaller space on top and bottom. So let's make the top 50 and we can make the bottom 80 pixels. Then let's select our post list element, and this one looks a little bit weird in tablet format with our image being small on the left. To fix this, we can open up content settings, then for item layout we want to select this column option. Now our text has moved below our image and we want to make the image bigger. So let's go to style and then open up image settings. For the image width, it's very important to select percentage first, like this. And now we can make it take 100% of the space that's available. Then we can change the height to 300 pixels. I also want to go back to content, and for post lists image size, I want to select large. And now I'm not sure if you're able to see this on video, but our image is much higher quality. And the last space that we want to change is this one between 2 posts. So for the list gap, instead of 60, we can make it 30. And now everything looks perfect on tablet. So let's go to our responsive bar and move on to mobile. In here, the image is a little bit too big, and so is the title. So again, make sure we select our posts element, go to style, and then let's open up image settings. We want to change the height, and I will make mine 220 pixels. And let's check it out, and I think that looks much better. Now for the title, we can scroll down, open up title, then open up typography, and for its size I want to change it to 22 pixels. Then for line height, make sure to select pixels in here first before changing it, and then I will make mine 34 pixels. Alright, and with that I think our blog page is looking amazing on all devices. Let's just click update to save all of those changes. And finally, there is one more thing that I want to show you how to do. Because on our blog page, I want to show you in case you're gonna have a super long title like this example I'm showing you right here, then everything becomes misaligned like this. You're probably not going to have titles that are super long, but just in case you run into this problem, I want to show you how to fix it. This is completely optional, but it's an easy fix. We can open up a new tab, and then go to our dashboard, then open up Appearance and Customize. Then go to Additional CSS. Then again, inside the archive from the description, you have this CSS folder, and inside open up additional CSS, and you have this second piece of code that you can simply copy from here, just like I'm doing. Then go back to your WordPress, create a little space, and then paste it inside here. This will do the same thing as on our homepage. It's gonna limit your titles to a maximum of 2 lines. So you can publish this update, and now you're never going to run into a problem like this one, where you have a title that takes up more than 2 lines. I think it's the small touches like this one that make the difference between a regular blog and a professional one. Alright, so that's it for our blog page, and it looks amazing on all devices, and regardless of how long or short your titles are going to be. Now we are ready to move on to our reviews page. So just like before, let's go back to our dashboard, then pages, and now we can click our reviews page to open it, then click edit with Elementor to activate Elementor on it. I'm just gonna close out of this Elementor home tab and this customize, And here we basically want to build a blog posts page that only displays our reviews. We do this because the reviews are very important and are often the most popular content on any blog. Note that you can follow these steps to add any page that shows only a certain category of blog posts. We are just using reviews here as an example. And again, we will work smart, so let's start on our blog page. And we can copy over all of the sections to have a great starting point. So I can go to reviews and then paste it in here. Let's go back to our blog and then we can copy our second section, go to reviews, scroll down, paste it inside here, go back to our blog, and let's also copy this bottom section from here. Go back to reviews and then inside our rectangle paste it. So now we have a copy of our blog page that is already mobile responsive. We just want to make some adjustments. We can close out this blog tab and let's start by changing this text. And in here I'm gonna write latest reviews. I also want to again select the whole section, go to style and change this image. And I'm going to select this reviews page image from our archive. Insert media. And I really like this image, but it's very bright and it makes the text hard to read. We can fix that by going to background overlay. Then we can go to this opacity and I'm going to make it 0.8. Now it's darker at the top and it's gonna make our menu text much easier to read. Further down, we want our posts here to only show the reviews. So let's click it and then we can go to posts query, because again this is where we tell it which posts we want shown in here. We can select this include by terms, and as you can see we have our reviews tag in here. Just select it and then let's hit update. So let's open up a new tab and see how it looks. Go to reviews. And I think it's looking awesome and it's going to be optimized for all devices because we've already done it on our blog page. And as you can see, it only shows the 3 posts that are marked with our reviews tag. You can use this technique to make similar pages. For example, if you had a blog about food, you could have a category here that says recipes and maybe a category that says kitchenware. You just need to follow the same step we just did and then add them to the menu like I've shown you at the beginning of this guide. Alright, awesome. Now it's time to click on a blog post and see how it looks. And right now it doesn't look too good. We have this weird gray background and the spacing inside our article is really bad. So let's make it look much better. First, it's important to note that we can't edit this page directly in Elementor's free version. But don't worry, I will show you how to make this page look great anyway. Because I know you might be on a budget and maybe you aren't ready to invest in something like Elementor Pro yet. So first, I will show you how to make a super nice version of this blog page using Elementor Free. And later on in the guide, I'll also show you how you can make it even better using Elementor Pro if you want. But that will be optional. So let's start by going back to our dashboard. And to edit our single post page, we can go to Appearance and then Customize. Then open up Blog and go to Single Post. We can also click on any one of our blog posts to preview it. And here we have a few settings that we can change. We can change its structure over here. So right now we have our featured image right here and then our title right here. What I want to do is to show this publish date by clicking on this I. Then I can drag it all the way to the top and then I want to hide all of the rest of this information. So now we have just our blog's publishing date over here. There isn't much else we can change with these settings, so we can go back twice and then open up Global and Colors. At the bottom of these settings we have this content background color. This is this weird gray that we have in our background. So we can open it up and then we can make it white like this. We can also change the color of our headings in here and I want to make mine black. Also for the paragraph text color, I will want to make it black just like our headings, and I also want to change its transparency over here. I want to make it less transparent to make it easier to read. And this whole page is starting to look a little better now. Let's click Publish to save our changes. And unfortunately, on the free version, there is not much else that we can edit directly from here. But we can fix most of these annoying issues with a few bits of code that I will give you. So let's go back again twice, and then scroll down and open up additional CSS just like before. The first thing we want to do is fix the bad spacing between our paragraphs and our subheadings. So open up the archive that you got from the description, and go to this CSS folder and again open additional CSS. The first thing we want is to copy these 2 bits of code marked 3.1 and 3.2. So we can right click and copy and then we can paste them inside WordPress. And as you can see, our spacing is looking way better now. And these changes will apply to all of your blog posts. Notice how I wrote comments above every piece of code so that you know what each of them does. This one, for example, handles the paragraph spacing. So if you want more or less spacing between your paragraphs, you could change this margin bottom. For example, if we make it 34, we get way more space between our paragraphs. But I think 24 is perfect. You can also change the font size of your paragraph text over here. I will make mine 110%. According to many studies, it's important to make your blog text super easy to read. This will help keep people on your website longer, and it will also help you rank better in search engines. And for our second bit of code here, this handles the spacing for your subheadings. So you can make this space on the top of your subheading and this space on the bottom bigger or smaller by just changing these two values. Alright, sweet. Now if we scroll all the way up, there's some huge space on the top of our image. We can again open our text file, and let's copy this 3.3 code. Then paste it in just like before. That has cut the space here in half, and I think it's much better. Now let's scroll down and let's see what else needs fixing on this page. At the bottom, I think this part here is a little messy. I don't want this previous post link here, and there's way too much blank space above our comments. We can fix both of these issues by copying these two pieces of code. They are marked 3.4 and 3.5. Again, paste them inside WordPress like this. And this code got rid of that previous post link in here, while the second piece of code has made the space in here much smaller. One final thing we want to fix is this weird gray color inside our button. So again, let's open up our text file, and we have this 3.6 piece of code. Go back to WordPress and paste it in, and that has made this post comment text white. And now I think this page is looking way better overall. Let's scroll all the way up, and the last thing I want to show you how to change is the color of your date in here. This one is optional, but you can use this 3.7 piece of code to change it. So let's see what this does. Paste it inside WordPress, and it has made it black. If you want, you can change this color here to anything. For example, you could even type in red and your date will become red. Personally, I'm gonna just remove this piece of code because I really like this green color. But I wanted to give you that option on your own website in case you wanted to change it. So now we are finally ready to publish our changes. Let's go back to our blog post on our live website. And this is how it used to look before. Now let's refresh it. And this is how it looks now. It has a way cleaner and much more professional look. We will get back to this single post page as well as our homepage later on when we start using Elementor Pro. But like I said, you don't need Elementor Pro right now if you're on a budget. This is certainly looking professional enough to start. And with that said, we are completely done here, so let's scroll all the way up and we will move on to the final page, our contact page. To start editing it, let's again go back to our dashboard, then to pages, and we want to open up two pages with Elementor. First, for our home page, we can right-click and open in a new tab, and we can do the same for our contact page. We do this because again we want to go to our home page and then copy this first big section. We can go to contact, scroll all the way down and then just paste it inside here. We can hold this section icon and then drag it all the way up. Then we can remove this old first section that we're not gonna use. We do this because we want to make sure that this section looks the same on all of our pages. It keeps our design consistent across the whole website, which is best practice for good web design. Now let's select it, then go to Style, and we of course want to change this image. We can upload files, select files, and from our archive we can select the contact page image. Insert it, then I want to just change this text and I will make it into Contact Us. And with that, our first section is done. Then we can scroll down, and for the bottom section you have a few options. You could keep it like this if you want and perhaps have photos of your own team members in here. But personally, I also want to remove this, and instead I will also copy the bottom section from our home page. So just like before, we can click copy, go to our contact page, and paste it inside here. And because this is our contact page, we can replace this text in here, and I will replace it with "You can also DM us on Instagram." Alright, now for the middle section. I won't focus too much on customizing this part because it already looks pretty good. I just want to quickly edit this email address, and I will put mine in here, contact@wpmkr.com. You can edit the rest of the elements here the same way, or you can simply delete them if you only want your email address on your contact page. You should also select these social media icons and then put in links to your social media profiles. If you want a more detailed guide on how to change everything on this page, you can watch my WordPress business website guide, which I will link in the description. I go into more detail there. The slightly trickier part is the contact form. Let's select it, and as you can see, this is inserted here through this WP Forms shortcode. This is because our contact form is not created inside Elementor. It is handled by our WP Forms plugin. So to edit it, let's first update this page to save our changes. Then we can go back to our dashboard and we can open up WP Forms on the left. This is our contact form. Note how this shortcode over here is the same as in Elementor. So we can click the contact form to edit it. And inside we have our contact form elements on the right and we can click them to change their settings on the left. For example, we can change this placeholder text in here, go to advanced, and instead of message you could have your message if you want. You can also open up more settings in this tab, and then under confirmations, for example, we can change the confirmation message that your visitor gets when they successfully submit your form. So I can make mine "We will be in touch with you within 48 hours. And when you're done making changes, you can just click save up here to save the form. However, there is one more thing that I want to change, and that is the color of this text inside our button. Unfortunately, we can't change its color in this free WP Forms version, but that's fine because again we can do that with a small piece of code. So let's click this X to go back to our dashboard. Then just like before, we can go to Appearance, Customize, and open up additional CSS. I'll go to the contact page to preview it, and we can see our contact form here. Now let's open up the additional CSS text file from the description, and we want to copy this 4.0 code. Go back to WordPress, scroll down, and let's make a little space for it down here, and then paste it. And that has made the text inside our button white. It looks great, so let's click Publish. Now we can exit out of here, go back to our website, visit our contact page, and let me just fill in this form for you to show you how it works. And then I will click Send Message. We get our confirmation message, and this message will arrive in your inbox at the email address that you used when you installed WordPress. So this is the message that we wrote inside our form, and you can hit reply to it like normal. And with that, our contact page is finished. In fact, all of our pages and blog post designs are done. If you got to this point, congratulations! Your blog is basically good to go. So if you want to stick with this Elementor free version, this is an amazing design to get you started. But I also want to show you how you can take it a step further. This is optional for you, but next we will use Elementor Pro to make our website even better. And the first big improvement that I want to make is to this blog post template. Elementor Pro will give us access to edit this page super easily. So we will be able to edit it using our visual page builder and make it look exactly how we want. Then we will move back to our homepage and we'll be able to insert some super useful new features in here. We will include a new section with our featured posts at the top. And then we will add a subscribe form where users can sign up with their email to keep up with news from your blog. But like I said, we will need Elementor Pro to do all of that, so let's go ahead and install it. Open up a new tab and visit Elementor's website by going to wpmkr.com/Elementor. And again, WP Maker is my website and I'll always keep this updated to make sure you get the best price by visiting them through our link. Once here, make sure that you have this website builder selected, because we don't want hosting from Elementor, we just want the Pro page builder. And next we have these options for how many websites we want to install Elementor Pro on. Personally, I have the 1000 websites plan because we make many websites for our clients. And it's also worthwhile to know that you can also get 3 licenses for $99 by clicking this small text at the bottom. But you'll probably just want to use it on one website, so I'll just click Buy Now for one website activation. And then you need to fill in your account information and finish the checkout process over here. I won't do this because, like I said, we already have the 1000 licenses package. So I can just go back and then I will log into our Elementor account. After you buy Elementor Pro, you will get your login information inside your email. Then you can log in like this, and then you will also end up on the same page that I am on right now. Go to subscriptions on the left and you'll have your Elementor plan in here. So you can download zip, which will allow you to save a copy of Elementor Pro inside your computer. Now we can close out of Elementor and let's go back to our dashboard. Then for your plugins, click Add New. Over on the top we can click Upload Plugin. Then we can choose File and choose the Elementor Pro archive that we just downloaded. Then click Install Now. Wait a few seconds and then activate plugin. Now we want to find Elementor Pro in here, then click Connect and Activate. And again click Activate. And now Elementor Pro is connected and your license is activated on your website. So let's see what new features that gave us access to. Let's mouse over these templates. And the most important new feature by far is this theme builder. It allows us to edit every single thing on our website that we weren't able to edit before. In our case, this single post page is what we are most interested in. This is the template that will be used for all of our blog posts, and it is also known as a single post template. So we can select it on the left, and then on the top right we can add new. It offers us a bunch of pre-made designs that we can choose from, but honestly I don't really like most of these. So we can close out of here and we will build a much better design ourselves. Now inside here we can essentially rebuild this single post page that will apply to all of our blog posts. And we can build this template from scratch exactly the way we want it using Elementor. Because as you can see on the left, we have all of these new elements that we didn't have before. They are all specific to a blog post, like the post title, the post content, the featured image, and others. So we can drag in everything that we want our blog post to display. Let me show you a quick example. We can drag in a post title and drop it in this gray box. Then we can open up our widgets, and let's also drag in our post content, open our widgets again, and let's drag in the featured image as well. And there are other elements that we can also use. I will drag in a table of contents under the image, and we can also go back and look for some share buttons, and we can drag them in like this. So we've quickly built our template, and in the previewer over here, it just picks a random blog post to show us as an example. But all of these elements will adapt to each blog post on its own. So we will have a different image and a different title for each one. Let's check out how it works. So we can click publish, and then we want to add a condition. Then we can choose where we want this template displayed. And we can choose this posts option to apply it to all of our posts. Then click save and close. Now let's go back to our website, and we can open up any blog post to see that template. And as you can see, this now uses the design that we've just made. It doesn't look too good, so we could go back and improve it. For example, I will select this whole section, and then I want to adjust its spacing. And we can give it some padding like this, and maybe less at the top. And we can also select our featured image and make it full size for better quality. Then click update, and let's go back to our website, and then refresh this page. And this is already looking way better than before. So this is how you can build your single post page template completely from scratch, exactly the way you want it. And remember, the single post page is super important. This is the page design that over 95% of your blog visitors will see, which is your actual blog posts. Especially if you get traffic from Google, everyone will be landing right on a blog post that you wrote. Because of course, most people will be coming to your blog to read a blog post and not just to visit your homepage. So we could keep building this template design in here. But we don't have to build it from scratch because that takes a long time and I've already built it for you. So you can import the design that I made, then I'll simply show you how you can change and rearrange everything. So let's start by deleting this section that we made, and we can import our starting template by clicking this gray icon. Then on the top right we can click this import template button. Let's select a file, then open up the archive that you downloaded from the description and go to templates. And I will give you two different template options, so let's start with the first one. Select this first single post option and then open it. Now you have it inside here is this first single post option, WP Maker. So you can insert it, then let's click update and let's refresh our website to see how it looks. I think this one is looking pretty cool. It's minimalist and is suitable for most types of blogs. We have these big share buttons on top, and we also have these floating share buttons that scroll together with the content. And on the bottom right we have this reading progress tracker that will tell you how much you have left to read. So I think this whole page is looking professional, and if you want to use this one, you now have it available as a template inside Elementor. And again, I wanted to provide this as an option because it's suitable for most types of blogs and you can just set it and forget it. But personally, I will go for our second option for this example, so let's check that one out. Let's start by deleting all of these sections that we've just imported. Then again, let's add template, import template, select file, and this time let's select this second single post option and open it. We have it imported inside here, so we can insert. And this one will look way more impressive in my opinion, but we need one more setting to fix this header up here. Because for this template, we want to use our transparent header. So let's update the template first, then open up a new tab, go to our dashboard, and then to Appearance, Customize, and open the header builder just like before. We want to customize transparent header and we want to enable it on the complete website. Then just hit publish and we can close this tab. Now we can refresh our Elementor page and our new single post template is imported and ready. Let's also check it out on the official website. And look at that, I think this design is way more impressive than the other one. The main difference is that our featured photo takes the full background section up here. And then inside it we have the post publishing date, the blog post title, and the author on top. Let's take a closer look inside Elementor and see how this template is built. One thing we should do is start by selecting this big section, and then go to Style, and this is how our featured image is inserted as a background for our whole section. Elementor Pro allows us to just select this featured image item and then it takes it automatically from inside your blog post. But we should also add a fallback image in here. We do this because in case you have a blog post that you wrote but didn't select a featured image for, then this fallback image that we're selecting right now will be used in here instead. So we can just select a more general coffee image like this one and then insert it. So this will be like our backup plan. Your blog post's featured image will be shown here, but in case you don't have one, we will just show this one instead. And of course you can customize and rearrange everything in here exactly the way you want it. Let's say you didn't want this author information down here. You can simply right-click the element and delete. But I will keep it just the way it was. And let me show you where you can configure this author information. Let's again go back to our dashboard inside the new tab and open up Users. You are probably the only user right now, so click your own name. Then we can scroll down, and if you want to change the way your name is displayed, you can change it here in this nickname field. For example, I will capitalize my own name. Then for display name publicly as, you can select your nickname that you wrote up here. Next up, you have your primary email field. This is important because WordPress uses their own service called Gravatar to display your profile picture. So if you don't have a Gravatar account, you need to click this link and then make a Gravatar account using that same email that you use inside WordPress. Then you just upload your profile picture that you want inside Gravatar and you will get it inside your WordPress website like this. After you set this up, you can click Update Profile. And now if we go back to our blog post, you can see my name here is Andre. But if I refresh this page, now my name is capitalized the way we wrote it inside our WordPress profile. So with that finished, let's move on to our second section. In here we have this table of contents. It automatically picks up on the subheadings that we have inside our content. And you can click any of them to jump to that specific part. This helps a lot with user experience and it keeps people staying on your blog longer on average. In turn, it will also show search engines that your website provides a great experience, and they will reward you with more traffic. The next element that also helps with this is our reading progress tracker on the bottom right. As you can see, this tells us how much of the article you are done reading. To see how it works, we can go back to Elementor and then scroll down to it, then click it to select this element. And there are a bunch of changes we can make. For example, we can go to Style, and inside here you can change its color if you want. Or to change its position, we can open up the Advanced tab, then scroll down and you will find this offset value for the vertical orientation. You can drag it around to move your element further up or down inside the page, but I will leave it the way it was. Next up, over on the left, we can also edit these floating share buttons. They make it super easy for our visitor to share our content. Then we can go to Style and we can change their colors inside here. I want to give them a different hover color, so I'm gonna click hover. Then for the primary color, I'm gonna select this hover green. Now when we mouse over them, we get the different shade of green. If you want to change their position, it's also very similar to the progress tracker. Just go to Advanced, scroll down, and inside here we find our vertical orientation. But again, I want to leave it just the way it was. And these buttons also work automatically. So if a visitor wants to share your link on Twitter, they can just click this. And then the link to your blog automatically gets pasted inside here. They just need to write the rest of their tweet. And once they're done, they can click tweet up here. And of course, all of the other elements inside this template you can change or rearrange just like you would with any other page inside Elementor. But overall, this is a great template already for most blogs and you can keep it as it is. I just want to show you one more edit that's less obvious. Because on desktop, our progress tracker is down here. But let's open up the responsive mode and then go to mobile. And now our circle-shaped tracker is hidden because there is no space for it. Instead, I've designed this progress bar on top that you can see over here. It's a green horizontal bar that also tracks the reading progress. So once inside this mobile mode, you can mouse over it and then click this icon to edit it. Then we can open up style, and inside here you can of course again change the color if you'd like. Or if you want to make it bigger, you can adjust its height over here. I will undo these changes because I like it the way it was before. The other thing is if you want to change its position, so again you can go to advanced, then scroll down, and let's say we want it at the bottom of our page instead of at the top. So for our vertical orientation we can change it to bottom, and then we just need to play with this offset setting. And if we make it -20, now our progress tracker sits at the bottom of the page for mobile. Again, I will undo all of these changes, but this is where you can change your progress tracker's position if you want. Now let's get back to desktop and let's move further down to see what other edits we can make. Let's say you want your post comments displayed in here. We can simply open up our elements, and then we have this post comments element that we can drag in, for example, inside here. So just like that, you can add the ability for your readers to leave comments. Or we could also go back to our widgets, and you could drag in an author box perhaps. You could write a quick bio inside your WordPress profile, and it's gonna be displayed inside here. And you can drag in any other element that you want. I will remove all of these because I want to keep my page as simple as possible. But this is how you can add new features to your blog posts. And by the way, I'm thinking of making a detailed guide on how to make a single post template like this one completely from scratch. So if you're interested in it, please leave a comment below. And also make sure to subscribe to get notified when we upload new videos. Further down, we have this subscription box. For it to work, you will need to link it up to your email provider like MailChimp. But we will configure this a bit later, so let's skip over it for now. And finally, we have our related posts section. If we click our related posts, we can see that it is a posts element that controls what is displayed inside here. And for the layout of our posts, we have these skins that we can select from. But they are nothing too special, and we have almost no control over how they look. However, we can add more and better skin options with a plugin. So note how we only have 3 skin options right now. Then let's open up a new tab, and we will go back to our dashboard, then go to plugins and add new. We will search for Elementor custom skin, and this is the one we're looking for, so just install, then activate. Now let's go to templates and open up that theme builder again. And we now have a new site part in here called loop. We can click it, and this will allow us to design a completely custom post skin from scratch. This way we can have it look exactly the way we want. So let's click add new, exit out of these templates, and here we can again drag in our post title, for example, to begin making a template. But just like before, I will save you some time because I've already made a nice design so that you don't have to start from scratch. So we can click add template, then go to import template, select file, and from our archive we open up the templates, and let's import this 4th one, featured loop. Open it, and we have it inside here, so we can just click insert. So this is how a post will look inside our related posts element. You will see what I mean in a second. For now, let's click publish, and then we don't need to add any condition, just save and close. Let's go back to our single post template in Elementor, and I'll update this to save those changes I made earlier, and then I can refresh it. Scroll back all the way down to our related posts, and again select our posts widget. And for our skins, aside from those 3 options that we had before, we also have this custom one. We can select it, and then for our default template, we can select the featured loop that we've just imported. We can preview it, and look at that, I think this is looking much better. We've made our related posts to use the template that we've just inserted. So every single post that is displayed inside here is following the layout that we've defined in our template here. So let's go back to our Elementor settings and finish setting this up. We can scroll down and let's open up the query settings. And for source, instead of posts, we want to select related. This setting will make sure that only related posts are shown here, such as posts from the same category or with the same tags. And with that, we can just click update to save it. And by the way, you could explore other options by opening layout. Say if you wanted to have only 2 columns, you can select that in here, and maybe you want to show 6 posts like this. This is a different design that you can try on your own blog, and you can play around with the other settings in here. But I like to keep it simple with 4 columns and 4 posts. And if you want to edit the way each of these look on their own, you can change that inside your loop template. So here you could change the size of your title text if you want. Or if you don't want this green category text, you can delete it over here. And in the same way, you can edit everything about your loop template. So now that we understand how that works, we can close out of this. And now our most important pages, the blog posts themselves, will all look amazing. If you made it all the way here, then congratulations, your website is looking so good by now. Let's wrap it up by making the last finishing touches to our homepage. So we can go back to our dashboard and then to pages, and for our homepage, let's edit with Elementor. First, let's make sure we always show our most important posts at the top of our homepage. This will be very similar to our related posts that we've just built for our blog post template. We can quickly make a new section by just right-clicking this latest articles one and then duplicate it. Then we can delete this heading text and also the posts below it. And this way we have this new section which is already mobile responsive and aligned correctly. Now we can go to our widgets and we want to search for posts. We want to drag in this posts element inside our new section. This is the widget that came with Elementor Pro and wasn't available to us before. After we drag it in, from its skin we can again select custom, and for the template we want the featured loop WP Maker one. We can also hide these pro features because we don't need them, and for these posts per page we can type in 3. For query, we will want to include all posts that have a certain term. So in this include by we can select term. Then for the term type in reviews and select it. This will make it so that we only show posts in here that have our reviews tag. You can switch this for anything you want. For example, you could make a featured tag and only give it to the posts that you want to be shown here. Now let's align these with the blog posts below. So we can go to style, and I want to change this columns gap to 40 pixels. Now all of the spacing is correct and our top posts are aligned with these ones. So next up, let's open up responsive mode and check out tablet. And here I also want to adjust this columns gap to just 20 pixels for tablet. Or maybe you don't like the empty space inside here because we are only showing 3 blog posts. To fix that, we can go to content, and for columns we can change this to only 1 column. I think this actually works much better. Next, let's check out mobile, and this one is already looking great. So we are ready to go back to the desktop and keep going with our changes. And as you can see here, on a small screen size, we again run into this problem where our titles might be too long. It's optional, but if you want to limit this title to maximum 2 or 3 lines, we can do it with a little bit of code. We can go to advanced, then scroll down and open up this custom CSS inside here. Then we can again go to our archive from the description and open up the CSS folder, then open up Elementor Pro CSS. We can select everything in here, then copy it and paste it inside Elementor. That way, we've created this awesome effect where it limits your titles to maximum 3 lines, but it shows the full title when we mouse over anywhere inside the blog post box. If, for example, you want to show only 2 lines max, you can change this number right here to 2. And that will show only 2 lines of your title unless you mouse over it. But let's go back, and I like to leave this at 3. Now we are finished with our featured posts, but there's one more thing. Because now that we've added these up here, we also get duplicates. Like for example, this blog post is the same as this one. To avoid this, we can select this element under our latest articles. Then we want to open up posts query. Let's look for exclude by and then open it and select terms. Then in this box, we want the reviews term. Select it. And this setting will make it to where our posts that have the reviews tag are excluded from here, because they are already shown up here in the featured posts section. And let's also change this max posts to 6 to not have too many posts on our homepage. So now we will have a total of 9 posts, the first 3 ones being our featured ones, and after that we have 6 more of our newest posts. Beautiful, so now that we're done with this section, we can just click update to save our changes so far. And let's move on to adding a beautiful subscription box over here. So we can scroll back up and go to our widgets, then search for form. So Elementor Pro also gave us access to this form element that we can drag over like this. And we can use it to make an email subscription box. But I will save you some time and I will give you the template that I've already made. So let's right click and delete this, then scroll all the way down and again add template. go to Import Template, select File, and from our archive we want this fifth one, Homepage Subscribe. Open it. Now we have it here, number 5, and we can insert it. Then click Don't Apply. Now it is imported inside our page and we can drag it wherever we want it. I will just place it below our featured posts. And look at this, I think it's beautiful and it's already made responsive for all devices. You just need to adjust its text and colors if you want different ones. But we also need to make sure that it actually works. And I specifically want to show you how to configure it with an email provider like MailChimp. First we can click this form to select it. Then on the left we have this Actions After Submit. We can click this plus and we can select MailChimp, Drip, ActiveCampaign and others. But I think MailChimp is the best because I've been using them on many websites over the years. And they are 100% free up to 2000 email subscribers, which is amazing for getting started. So let's select MailChimp. And if you don't have a MailChimp account, you can go to mailchimp.com and create one. It's free and it's super easy. After that, you can log in like this. Then on the bottom left, you want to click your account name and then go to Account and Billing. Then from Extras, you will want to open up API keys. Scroll down and click Create a Key. After your key is created, you can simply click it and then copy it. Now we are ready to go back to Elementor. Open up these settings for MailChimp and we get this message that our API key is required. We can click this integration settings link up here. Then we want to scroll down and we want to find this MailChimp field. For the API key, we can paste the one that we've just generated inside MailChimp. This API key is like a password that is unique to your MailChimp account. Click Validate API key and make sure you get this green check mark. Then we can scroll all the way down and we want to click Save Changes. Now we can close this to go back to Elementor and we want to hit Update to save our changes. Then let's refresh this page. Scroll back down to our form and select it and go back to our MailChimp settings. Now our API key is connected and we just need to select our audience. You probably only have one like myself, so just select it. Then scroll down and for this email field we want to map it to field number 1. This makes MailChimp understand that the email is the same field that we have here. We only have one, so that's why we select field number 1. So now we can click Update and let's go to our homepage to test it out. Go to our form and then I will type in my email inside here, then click Subscribe. And if you get this "the form was sent successfully" message, then it works. Whenever someone new subscribes, you will also get an email to let you know about it. Alright, sweet, so all of your email subscribers will now be registered in your selected MailChimp audience or email list. And you can email them and let them know whenever you have some new awesome content published. But let's also not forget to activate the other form that we use on our blog post pages. We can go back to our dashboard, then go to Templates and open the Theme Builder. Go to Single Post Templates and edit this one that has this green dot next to it. This is your active single post template, so we can click Edit and scroll down all the way to our subscription box. Select the form, go to Actions After Submit, then click this plus and again select MailChimp. Open up the MailChimp settings. Select our audience just like our homepage, and for the email field we want to select field 1. Then click Update, and with that our subscription box inside our blog posts is also connected to our MailChimp. So all that's left to do is to exit out of here, visit our homepage, then mouse over your name up here and log out. Then we can go back to our homepage, and now we can see our whole design like a normal visitor would see it without that admin bar on top. So our design is now completely finished. If you made it all the way here, huge congratulations! We've learned how to build so many things together. And I want to thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. I really hope that you enjoyed it. It took us months of work to make this design and tutorial, but we loved every single second of it. So if it helped you, please like the video and subscribe so that we can make more guides like this one in the future. And also there is one more step to do, which is speeding up your website so that it loads super fast. We decided to post that part in a separate video because this one was already getting quite long. You can find a link to that video in the description, or it should also be popping up on the screen over here. Or you can check out how to improve the SEO of your new blog to get more traffic from Google by watching this video. Alright, I've been Andre from WordPress Maker and I hope to see you in the next one.